Hello and welcome. I'm Nicola, yoga teacher and therapist, fellow highly sensitive person, and this is your February yoga practice, which is all about really nurturing you. If you've watched my other video on self-care for February, then it kind of feeds on those kinds of themes. So if you've not checked it out, take a little look. All you will need for this session is we're going to be using a rolled up blanket. Yeah, one a bit like this, rolled up into a bit of a sausage shape would be good. You could use a towel instead, or possibly a small cushion depending on the shape. And yeah, a yoga mat if you've got one, or on a carpeted surface, or a rug will be also fine. If you know you're somebody that needs a few extra things to support you in your yoga practice, then please feel free to get them. The edge of a bed, a chair, a wall can be really supportive. Blocks, bricks, things like that. So yeah, grab what you need and then we're going to begin. So to start with, we're going to begin lying down in constructive rest pose. So coming to lie down on your back with your knees pointing towards the ceiling. And if it feels more supportive, you can take the feet a little bit wider and let the knees knock in. And for today, I'm going to suggest you bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your chest, and just let the elbows rest on the floor. Don't worry about kind of holding them. Just let your arms be really relaxed. And then once you've landed in this shape, just take a moment to really deeply breathe into your belly, feeling those hands rise as you do so. And then sigh it out through the mouth. Doing that a couple more times as you feel you need. And then before we start to think about moving our bodies, just take a moment to wander around your body in your mind with your awareness, to just check out what's here for you. Notice if there's any tensions or aches, pains, areas that feel okay, any emotions. And once you've noticed how you're feeling, just use that as information that's going to guide your practice. And so any movements that I suggest are merely an invitation. And if something else feels like it's going to serve you and tend to what it is you need today, then please feel free to do it, to do what you need. Okay, before we begin now, let's take 3 long, deep breaths in through the nose, back out through the nose, nice and steady. Feeling already as if with each breath that we're taking in and out, that we're deeply nourishing and nurturing our bodies. And after that third one, reach the arms up towards the ceiling or the sky out in front of you. And just take a moment to spread your fingers and to look at the the fronts of your hands. And you might then want to take your hands in these little wrist rotations, as if you're cleaning out the inside of a vase or a bowl, going in both directions. And as you do each movement today, I really encourage you to look at the parts of your bodies that are moving and just offer them a little bit of gratitude. You could even say to yourself now in your mind or out loud, "Thank you so much, hands, for all that you do." Because let's be honest, we really don't give them much attention, do we? We don't give them much thanks. And balling up your fists and doing the same thing. And then just letting your arms have a little bit of a shake, giving each arm a little bit of a rub up and down the forearms all the way to the shoulders. as if you're just giving them just a little bit of attention. And then we'll release the arms down and bring the left leg in and holding on to the back of the thigh now and just extending the leg. It doesn't need to be poker straight, it could be bent. But once again, saying a little hello and thanks maybe to your toes, giving them a wiggle. And then starting to rotate through the ankle. Going one way and then the next. My ankle is clicking happily, so let any clicks and cracks happen that need to. And maybe giving your leg a little bit of contact as well, a little bit of a rub before you place that foot down and switch sides. So saying hello to your right toes, giving them a wiggle, sending some thanks for all they do. Circling through the ankle now, one way and then the other. And just contemplating how much your feet do for you. We stuff them into shoes and socks without thought often. Giving your leg a little bit of a rub. And then bringing your knees in towards your chest. And you might just want to hold on to the fronts of the shins and just hug them in and maybe pause to take a deep breath into your belly. You might also enjoy having a little rock from side to side. And then perhaps placing your hands on your knees and starting to circle the knees away from each other. And really what we've been doing so far is we've been really trying to work into the joints, as well as just remind ourselves that we have a body. How often do we get stuck in our head and forget that we have all these limbs and bits and pieces that need our attention? Going in the opposite direction. Okay. And then placing your feet down as you're ready and bringing your arms to the side, and you want your ankles about underneath your knees here. So when you're ready to breathe in, we're going to press into the feet and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Let the back of your neck get long towards the floor, chin or jaw towards the chest, and then we'll breathe out as we lower down. And we'll go between these two movements and let this be a chance for you to just let each one of those spinal bones, the vertebrae, have their turn. So it's almost like you're peeling the spine off of the floor, stretching through the front of the body as you press into the feet and push those hips towards the ceiling. And then slowly, bone by bone, piece by piece, lowering down. Breathing in as you rise, breathing out as you lower down. If you like, the next time you lift, you could pause there, maybe ball up the fist underneath the body, shuffle the shoulder blades underneath a little bit more, and just pause here to breathe deeply into the front of the body. Maybe you sense a little bit of tightness around the chest or the shoulders. And then on your next exhale, just release that gently and lower back down. Take your arms out into a soft T shape. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then just begin to sway those knees from side to side. And maybe the head goes in the opposite direction. Okay. Next time you come through center, holding onto the knees once again. If it feels doable for you, hold onto the backs of the thighs and have a little rock on your back. until you come all the way up. And you can do that as many times as you feel you need to, feels comfortable, or you can just come up any way. So sitting cross-legged if that's comfortable in your body, otherwise sitting however feels best for you. And get nice and long through your spine. And then as you breathe in, we'll reach towards the ceiling. Palms to touch. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows and go wide. Think about making like a cactus shape. So we're breathing in to get long. And then breathing out, cactus shape. Or a goalpost, I've heard it say before. I'm not a rugby fan, so I go to cactus rather than goalpost. Is this rugby? I'm not sure. Breathing in and breathing out. And each time you breathe out and you open these arms, think about lifting your chest, squeezing the shoulder blades a little bit together. Last one. Great. Release the arms and take some long, luxurious shoulder rolls. Or maybe one and then the other. Getting a bit slinky. Forwards and back. Okay. When you're ready, we're going to go wide with the arms. Think about you're just about to see somebody who you absolutely love to pieces. Breathe in all that love, and then this time we're going to hug ourselves and offer ourselves that care. If it feels okay, pause here. Creep those fingers around your back. Drop your chin towards your chest. You might feel a little bit of a stretch here at the back of the neck. Let's pause here to once again breathe into the heart space. The back of the heart, the front of the heart, the sides of the heart. And when your next inhale comes, we're going to open those arms wide once again. Think about that person again. So pleased to see them. Spread the fingers wide. And then we'll hug ourselves once again. Opposite arm on top this time. Bowing your head down. Taking a breath. And then when you're ready, peeling open once again, taking those lovely slow shoulder rolls. And then we're going to come onto all fours, so feel free to pop anything underneath your knees. Okay, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And we'll just start to find some cat and cow, so dropping the belly, breathing in, lift the chest. And then breathing out, curling the spine, tucking the tail under. And going between these two with your breath, breathing in for cow pose. Breathing out to round the back for cat pose. And as you go through these movements steadily, just keep in mind that idea of taking your time to really honour and give each part of your body your attention. You may want to close your eyes here so you can really feel into your body. And if, as you've closed your eyes, you're noticing certain things with your body that want to move in a different way, maybe you can use this all fours as a way to just explore and get curious about movement and how it might help shift something for you. So you can stay with cat and cow if that's feeling good for you right now, or you can just start to freestyle it a little bit. Perhaps there's a little bit of tension in your neck like me today. You can incorporate a bit more movement in through the upper back and into the neck. Or maybe there's something going on in the lower back or the hips. Just really using this as an opportunity to tend to yourself. As you feel called to, the invitation when you're ready is to take the knees wide, sit the hips back for child's pose. Now rest your head either on your hands, on the floor. You can keep those arms outstretched, or you can take them alongside the legs, wherever feels best for you. And as we pause, take a moment to breathe deeply into your body. As you exhale, release any worries into the ground if you can. And then staying in this shape, sort of, we're going to take the right arm and thread it underneath the chest, underneath the left armpit. So taking almost like a little bit of a twist to the upper body, and you might end up getting lost in your hair like me, but you might end up being able to kind of look underneath that left armpit. So a little bit of a wiggle to get into this, stretching your other arm, your left arm long, and then breathing into any tension or sensation that there might be in the shoulders and the upper back. One more breath. Great. And when you're ready, drawing that arm back, and we'll switch sides. So threading the other arm. And it might be that one side feels a little bit more awkward. This definitely feels more awkward for me. Taking a breath. And then when you're ready, slowly unravelling. And from here, we'll tuck the toes, find downward facing dog, so lifting the hips high. If this is not for you, you can spend some time back in child's pose, or you could start to come into that forward fold, so a standing forward fold. You could maybe find your dog with the use of a chair or a wall. But if you're in it, just take some time to paddle through the feet, wiggle the hips. Take some breaths. Keep it nice and soft. And then we'll start to walk the feet towards the hands and find that little ragdoll forward fold. So if you're feeling really quite tight and you've got some stuff going on in the lower back, let the knees be quite bent. Let your belly rest on your thighs. You might want to hold on to the elbows, or you might want to let the arms go. You might want to sway a little bit, or you might just want to keep still. All is welcome. And if you know you get kind of giddy in this kind of shape, come up halfway, rest your hands on the edge of the sofa or a chair. Either way, taking some long, nourishing breaths. And then, in good time, we'll start to roll up. No rush. Again, roll your shoulders when you get to the top. Adjust yourself. Okay. Once you get to standing, don't rush it, but when you're ready, we'll just take the feet a little bit wider. Toes can kind of point out. When you're ready, we'll sweep the arms up towards the ceiling. I'm going to interlace the fingers and kind of point the fingers a little bit, kind of Charlie's Angel style. I'm going to draw a circle with the arms, and you can bend the knees as much or as little as you want to here. So it's like we're drawing this big circle all the way around. This is a really good way to stretch into lots of the body all at once. Be breathing in as we reach the top of the circle, breathing out as we draw the bottom half of the circle. And the next time you reach the top, change directions. And then the next time you reach the top, pause and release the arms all the way down. Roll the shoulders and bring those feet back together. Okay. So if you're using a yoga mat, we're going to step to the top of the mat and we'll take the left foot and step it behind us on the ball of the foot. So for high lunge pose. And just feel into it. If you feel a little bit unsteady, be by a wall or have something to steady you. Otherwise, nice and strong with those legs. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent. And when you're ready, we're going to breathe in, reach for the ceiling and straighten off the front knee. And as you breathe out, you're going to bend into that knee. Bring the hands to Anjali Mudra, prayer position at the chest. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more, breathing in. And this time as you breathe out, we're going to fold forwards and plant our hands down. Of course, use support if you need it from a chair. And then we'll step all the way back to our downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and then lower the knees down to the mat, but not quite underneath your hips. Shuffle them back a little bit so you're in this kind of half plank shape. In this half plank shape, as you're ready, lift the chest a little bit, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, with control, slowly lower down onto the belly. And then as you next inhale, slide the forearms forwards to find Sphinx pose. So press the tops of the feet and the legs and the hips into the mat. Press into your forearms so that you can rise up out of the shoulders. Try and avoid cranking the neck back. Just kind of gaze softly down and push the back of your neck backwards. And we're going to take some breaths into the heart, breathing in. Breathing out. 2 more. Okay, slowly lowering down, slide the hands all the way back. Push all the way up and back as if you're coming to child's pose, but keep the toes tucked and then find your downward facing dog once again. Deeply breathe into your body, and as you breathe out, start to walk the feet once again towards the hands. Take the arms high and wide, breathe in, reach for the ceiling. And breathing out, palms to touch. Okay, let's repeat on the opposite side. So standing at the top of your mat, if you're on a mat, and we'll step the opposite leg back. So whichever one you didn't do, we'll step back. Mine's my right. Whoops. Okay, so get yourself nice and steady. We're on the ball of the back foot, front knee is bent, back leg is straight. And always reminding yourself that yoga is really not about how it looks, it's about how it feels. So you might look different to me, that's perfectly normal and fine, we're all different. Just make sure it feels comfortable in your body and use whatever support you need to. Okay, as you're ready, breathing in, straighten off the front knee, reach for the ceiling, breathing out, palms to touch at the centre of the chest. Breathing in, straighten off the knee. Breathing out, palms to touch. Going again in your own time. Last one. And this time as you exhale, we'll bend the knee, we'll plant the hands down either side of that foot and step it back to your variation of down dog, or maybe something else that feels better for you. Take a full breath in when you get there. And then lower the knees to the mat, again a little bit further back than we would normally. Shift the hips forward, shoulders are over the wrists for half plank. Open the chest, press it into the floor, breathe in. And then slowly lower down onto the mat. Slide the hands forward so that your forearms make little train tracks. Press into the forearms, rise up out of the shoulders. Gaze a little bit ahead of the mat, but downwards. And then we'll breathe into the heart space. Imagining again, each breath is just sending a little bit of nourishment to wherever you need it today. Okay, on your next exhale, lowering down, pressing into the hands, and this time coming all the way back to a child's pose. Resting your head where feels best. And then after the next breath, just beginning to rise up once again, rolling the shoulders as needed. And then coming to a seat once again. Sitting up nice and tall. I'm going to lift the arms, breathing in, twisting towards your left, right hand on left knee, lift the chest, gaze over the back shoulder. Breathing into the belly, the chest. Softening the face and the jaw if you can. And then on your next breath in, we'll sweep those hands back to the ceiling and exhale to the opposite side. Right hand, left hand on right knee even. Taking time to pause and breathe. Okay, on your next inhale, we'll reach tall once again with the hands and release. Exhale. Okay. Rolling the shoulders. Okay, so this is where you'll need your rolled up blanket in a bit of a sausage shape. We're going to lie over it like so. Not for very long. You might want your head to be supported, so grab a cushion to support your head. But the blanket is kind of in between the shoulder blades. And just letting your arms rest either side. So once you've gotten into that position, you can let your legs go long if that feels good, or you can keep them as we did before at the beginning, bent, feet on the mat, knees pointing towards the ceiling. But in this shape, the invitation is to close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and just do that a couple of times. Really using this open shape that you've created with the blanket there to allow the shoulders to start to move towards the ground and open up the chest. So you're breathing into all that lovely space that you're creating. And then once you've taken a few sighing breaths, just let your body relax. Let your face and all the muscles around the face and the eyes just be heavy. Let the shoulders and the chest start to open and release down towards the ground. Let your belly become soft. And any muscles around the hips and the glutes just start to soften, start to let go. And allowing the legs to rest. The whole body begin to just drop into this sense of letting go, being held and supported. And giving yourself the permission to do that just for the next couple of minutes. Allowing the soft and gentle rhythm of the breath just to do its own thing now. Allowing the breath an easy passage in and passage out as you just pause for a moment. And when you're ready, just being aware of your body once again. Maybe taking a slightly more conscious breath. And in your own time, just gently rolling to one side so that you can slide that rolled blanket out from underneath you, and then let yourself come and lie back down flat on the floor or whatever you're lying on. And once you do that, just notice the shift. Notice the freedom of the breath perhaps, or the physical shift in the muscles and the structure of your body. And it might be that you've got a little bit more time to spare and can pause here for a few more minutes longer. But otherwise, either as you are or coming to a sitting position, just placing your hand on your heart and your belly. Maybe closing your eyes just to whisper any words that you need to hear. A little bit of gratitude perhaps for finding a little snippet of time for your body to move and breathe. And then blinking open when you're ready. Thank you ever so much for finding the time and taking part in this practice. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you think anybody else would benefit, please share this with them. Please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and also please let me know any comments below, things that you liked, how things felt for you. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, take care for now, and I'll see you on the next one.